Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important topic for reactive forms in Angular, where we will see how to create a form group of form array. Okay, so if you want to pass the entire form group as an array to your system, then what would be the process for that? So by the end of this session, you will be able to understand this concept. Also, we will talk about some of the prerequisites that are supposed to be used before we create the form. And in the end, we will verify the output. But before we proceed further with these all things, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to use reactive form for form group of form array. Okay, and to refer all these sessions sequentially, you can also refer the Sharmit digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. There you will find more than 3000 plus free resources, which is available in both Hindi as well as English language. So without any language barrier, you can consume the content from there. Okay. Alright, so let's get started. Here you can see currently I'm in app.component.html file where I have noted down the entire code, but we will go step by step by understanding each and every line of this code. So firstly, what we are doing here, we have declared one heading that shows Angular course by Sharmit. Then we have second heading, reactive form in Angular, form array of form group. Now after that, we have one horizontal row. And then we have one form. In form, I am using form group for user form. But before we talk about the form structure, let's see what are the prerequisites. What are the things that we are supposed to import? So for that, let's go to app.component.html component.ts file. Here you can see one by one what all things we have specified. The first thing is reactive forms module. Yes, of course, if you are creating reactive form module, so it should be imported. Then we are using ng for here, ng if, JSON pipe. So if you are using any of these things, then you are supposed to use it. Okay, fine. Then what we have this class. Inside this class, firstly I have specified the user form, which is nothing but a name of my form group. Then I created a constructor where I using private FB of FormBuilder. That means wherever we want to use the FormBuilder, we will refer it with the name FB. Okay. Then we are assigning the value. So this dot user form equal this dot FB group, opening closing parenthesis, opening closing curly braces, and inside this we have specified the array addresses array. So you can see addresses this dot FB dot array. Clear? So we have created this constructor. Now once the constructor is created, that means once the form builder is utilized to create the addresses array, we are good to use the define the further methods. But what we need to focus here, we need to focus in this part, that instead of creating one field, we are creating a entire addresses as a array. Okay, so this is what we are doing here. Now after this, from line number 27, we have specified the getter method, which will help us to get this value easily. So you can see get addresses, opening closing parenthesis, curly braces, return this form user form dot get addresses as a form array. Okay. Then after that, we have this address form group. So what we are doing here, we are creating one address form group, new address, opening closing parenthesis, curly braces. From here we are returning one group, that is return this dot FB group city. Now we are specifying the fields like city, country. If you want to specify state or provenance, that is also fine. So city field is there, where we have specified the default value as blank, and then we have utilized validators. Although I'm not going to validate the I'm not going to show the messages for the validation, but if you want you can do, but for now I'm just using it. Okay. Then we have country with default value as blank, validators dot required. So this this method will be used to create one address form group. Okay. Next is add address method. So as its name suggests, this method will be used to push the new addresses which we created this method to push into the array. Okay, so we have created the new addresses form group. Now we are just pushing it to the actual array. So for that you can mention add address, opening closing parenthesis, opening closing curly braces, then this dot addresses dot push this dot new addresses. Clear? Likewise, there might be a requirement where we are supposed to remove the value from the array, and we all know to remove we will use the remove at method, and this method also takes the input parameter. Correct? So how we will specify that input parameter? You just need to mention here remove address, then its parameter should be index of number, opening closing curly braces, and inside this curly braces we will write this dot addresses dot remove at index. So what it will do, it will look for that particular index whatever you have specified as an input parameter, and then that value will be removed by the method. Okay, so overall how many methods we have created? We have created only 3 methods, or maybe you can include this one also. So 4 methods. One is for get addresses, second one is for new addresses to create the new form group, and then we have add addresses method and remove addresses method. Only one method takes the input parameter, rest all will work according to the flow. Now once we are ready with this app.component.ts file, it's time to see the HTML file. So here we can see from form, because headings part we have already discussed, which we have in the initial lines. Now we will talk about the form. So firstly what I'm doing here, I'm assigning the form group user form to this form. Then I have created one div for the addresses. So form array name is addresses. Then another div where we have specified ng for let address of addresses dot control, let I equal index, form array name is I, and here I have specified some styling like border as 1 pixel, solid black, padding as 10 pixel, margin bottom as 10 pixel. Okay, so in short what we are doing, we are just iterating one by one through the values, and then we are applying some styling to it. Okay, then next we have is label. So label is mentioned as city. Okay, then we have one input field, type as text, form control name as city. Then we have next label for the country, where we have another input field where type as text and form control name is country. So as per the fields that you have defined inside that form group, according to that you can provide the name. Remember, these all things are case sensitive, so always make sure that you are writing it in a same case. Now after defining both the fields, we have created one button to remove the addresses, because this should come along with this fields only, right? So here I have created button, type as button, click remove addresses of I, remove addresses. Okay, then next we have closing div and closing div. Okay, after that we have button, type as this is the last button that we are attaching after the div. Okay, this is not inside the div, button to add the addresses. Clear? And then we are closing the form. So let's quickly run this application and see how it works now. So ng server -open, open, enter. Just wait for a few seconds and then it will show you the output in the browser screen, where we will verify the output. So let me show you. Okay, so you can see we have Angular course by Tech Sharmit as main heading, reactive form and Angular form array for form group, one horizontal row, one button for add addresses, and another horizontal row. Okay, now if user wants to add the addresses, he or she directly can click here and it will show this div. Okay, so we have this div where we have one field for city, country. Similarly, if user wants to add another field, so you can see the moment when you start clicking on this thing, it will work perfectly. Okay, in case if they want to remove it, so they can simply click on this remove addresses and it will remove it. Okay, So this is just a basic thing or format which I wanted to show you in this session, like how to create a form group of a form array. I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.